Good afternoon and welcome to Finding the Joy in the Journey. My name is Gina Krupka and I am blessed to be here with you today. I have a wonderful guest today who makes me so joyful. So it is a wonderful gift for me as well. Today, we are going to talk with someone who is blessed to be able to do what she does for work that brings her joy and also brings so many others. The Joy is in the Journey is a show about finding more joy right where you are. It is not something that is outside of us. We know in New Thought we're meant to live from the inside out. So what we do here is talk with different people and different circumstances and different modalities and professions and find out what they do that brings them joy. And hopefully that sparks joy within you, because it's all about being happy now. So often people get caught up in that destination happiness. Well, when I have this, then I'll be happy. When I've paid off all my debt, then I'll be happy. When I meet the right person, or when I lose the weight, or when I. It's never here and now. See, the thing about goals is once we achieve them, we tend to set new ones. So we are so far ahead that we're not appreciating right now, where all the power and blessings are. So today we have a very special guest. Karen Drucker is here today, and she is going to be sharing with us. First of all, very excited. I'm the first to show this. This is her new CD, and she is going to be sharing music with us from My Heart Is With You. This is her 22nd CD. She just received the CDs in the mail today. Very exciting. And Karen was the music director for 3 different New Thought churches. She has a message that is all about healing and love, whether singing one of her own message songs or sharing stories that are funny or inspiring and always heart-opening. She's a keynote speaker, women's retreat facilitator, and entertainer with 22 CDs. She is absolutely amazing. She has a best-selling book, Let Go of the Shore, Songs and Stories to Set the Spirit Free. Her chants and songs are used around the world and often help people deal with illness and loss, or help them feel the need to feel more centered for the day. Karen's intention is to make a difference by using her music to open hearts and share a message of hope, acceptance, and love. So it is my privilege to bring in Karen Drucker.
Yay!
So good to have you here.
Gina, it's always nice to be with you. You're one of my favorite people. You're one of my favorite people.
I feel the same way. What a blessing you are. And we are live. So please send in your messages.
Anne. God, look at this. Anne already is online. She's
Yay!
Yay, Anne. She's so great.
She is happy that your CD is just like I am. It is available on your website. It just literally just got there, right?
It did. It was supposed to get there a couple. I was just at the Posy Awards and they were supposed to come, but they didn't make it. So they just got to me today, and I'm thrilled. I think you could get the CDs through my website, but the online, doing a stream, streaming it in the Dropbox and all that kind of stuff. I think that's going to take me a few days to get that on my computer, but and I'll upload it up on my website. But anyway, yes.
Very exciting. Yes, very exciting. Yeah, they're actually in your hand, and this is the cover. It is beautiful.
Isn't that neat? I was trying to find something, that cover. I was trying, because it's called My Heart Is With You. I was trying, and I found this graphic of this wonderful woman. Her name is Vicki Reed. Go check out her website. Oh my God. She does, actually, I did an album a few years ago called The Heart of Healing 2. And she had all these beautiful hearts. I mean, this is her thing, is hearts. And so she did the cover of that one. And when I came back, with this one, VickiReed.com. When I put this album together, I thought, I want something that just, like, I had pictures of me with my hand on my heart, but I saw that, and it's like, that's it right there. But I got to tell you, Gene, it's so interesting. Every time I do an album, I mean, 22 of them, you'd think I have this down. But, I have to like always, it's just, I mean, talk about joy. I have to always stop. And I don't know, to be really honest with you, if I've even really done this, because I opened the things up last night and went, yay. But to really stop and just acknowledge, I think we all are so used to, like because you were talking about goals before, when you have, you can make way for new goals or whatever. And I think that it's so important in our self-care and in our acknowledging of ourselves to, when something like this happens, like this is like 2 years worth of work. I mean, writing the songs and then recording them and doing some of it through COVID. And I mean, it's just, people never have any idea how much money and how much time things like this take. You're the only one who knows. And so, to me, the idea of that I really take the time to just stop and take a breath, see that big box that just came with all these CDs, and just, just have like a moment to yourself. When I used to play weddings, I said this concept. I mean, I knew of this concept years ago. When I used to play weddings, I said to every bride that I would sing at their wedding, I said, what's really important is after all the hoopla of getting married, here you're standing up there and you say, I do. What I've seen in all of my years of doing weddings is that the couple would leave, leave, do their little kiss, walk down the aisle, and then immediately all their friends are coming up going, oh, congratulations. And the couple, I would literally see this every time, would be pulled apart, to go be with their family and their friends, and they're all, loving up on them. But they would just like not even have a moment. And I said, just think about doing this on that day. When you walk down the aisle, give yourself 5 minutes, just even 5 if you can. And the two of you walk off in another room or in a corner or whatever, and just take that mental and physical breath, to just go, oh, look what we just did. We did it. And then turn around and go out and greet people, But it's like when you don't do that, when you don't take the time to just say, oh, look, little girl, look, it came. Look what you did, and do that, I think we rip ourselves off of that moment.
So true. So true. And I love that advice. It's so often in life, we're in a hurry. It's to the next thing. It's to the next thing. And many of us were also raised with the idea that if we are, saying good things about ourselves, that's, we're being prideful.
Right. Well, my dad used to say, don't stand on a soapbox and, say how great you are. So I had heard that message for years and years.
And the truth is, we need to be proud of ourselves. It's part of our DNA. We need to enjoy our accomplishments. That's why we're doing it. What good is life if we're not going to appreciate where we are right now? We're never going to be here again. We'll never have the people in our lives that we have right now. We'll never be in this moment again.
Right.
And if we're not appreciating the joy here and now, it doesn't carry. We only ever get this moment. It's where all of our power is. So you're right, though. Immediately you get rushed into it and you don't get to be present so often. We get caught up in. And one of our major practices is just mindfulness.
Right.
And that isn't meditation. It's simply being present where you are. For me, one of the things that I strive for is to live the prayer. And that means it's being here in every moment. And I'm nowhere near there. I mean, I started with complete distraction 24/7. So I'm better than I was, but it's better, in the right direction, because you can't feel joy tomorrow. You're not going to get that sense of accomplishment. You've given birth. You've given a piece of yourself to the world.
Yeah.
And we appreciate it. It is loved. But if you're not happy and you're not feeling that, that's when we get that feeling of we're not enough.
Well,
We're
and it goes
never.
back to what you said at the very beginning in your introduction of saying, what if I'll be happy when, and the idea that, spending, I mean, anything we do, I think it's so much in our culture that if you acknowledge yourself, you're being selfish or self-indulgent or, whatever. I think it's just so important to do exactly what you just said of just in that, because that moment's going to be gone. I mean, that moment's gone. And so, when I opened up the package to just, and it doesn't have to be that there's people applauding me or doing anything. It's a personal moment that you take. In one of my songs, the gratitude before me, gratitude behind me. I always have the thing, gratitude to the left, to the right, gratitude above, but gratitude, to myself, that you thank yourself for what you've done. And, I actually think that this is really something I want to develop more into more of my talks, because I'm always talking about being gentle with ourselves, but this little piece of acknowledging, I see, so I saw that Ann Pogue is on this call, and she just drove. I mean, this is a big deal for her to drive long distances, and she drove herself to the Posies from Illinois, which was like, I don't know, I can't remember, maybe you could tell us, Ann, but it was like a 5 or 6 hour drive, and she was really nervous about it, because it's a long drive when you haven't been driving, much in these last 3 years. And, it's like you get to the destination and it's like, good, I'm here. But to really just go, look what I just did, and I even said to her, because I was asking her how she was going to feel going home, but it's like, but you already did it going here. So now you've got that confidence, that you did it. So of course you're going to be able to do it going back. But it's just every little thing can be something that you acknowledge yourself for. And I think that is what 7 hours. Oh my God, Ann, 7 hours. I mean, I had to drive. Well, we're going to talk about my camping trip. That was like a 5 hour drive. And I was like so nervous about, I just hadn't driven that long and what's going to be like. And am I going to be safe? And is my car going to work? And all these little worries. But, whatever we do, I believe it's like lifting weights. I always talk about this visual that every time you do something, it's like, you lift a weight and you see that you could do it. And you do that a bunch of times and then you get the confidence that you can do it. But then life will ask you to stretch even further. And so then you go up to 60 pounds and now you shake again, but you do that over and over and you can do it. So anything that we're talking about, even though we're talking about joy is also a spiritual practice, and the more you see that you can do these things and give yourself the gift of something that's joyful, you lift that weight and go, oh, that was really fun. I could do more of that. And it gives you the confidence to expand out. I'll tell you the best thing that happened from being at Unity Village all last week. One of my favorite people is this wonderful minister named Paulette Pike. Do you know her? Pike?
No.
Pipe. Pike. I think it's Pipe. She has a beautiful podcast, or I think it's a podcast called In the Stillness. But she was telling us we all were at this table, and she was telling us that it was her birthday last year, and she made this thing. Talk about joy, Gina. Listen to this idea. I just love this idea. She told us, and by the way, when she started telling us this story, she lit up like a Christmas tree that all of us were just riveted to everything she was saying. And someone even came over and said, what is going on at this table? The enthusiasm and joy is like palatable. You can feel it around the table. But she was talking about for her birthday, she set up this thing she has to do every month for this year: a trip, a treat, or a thrilling adventure. So a trip is an actual trip that she's never been to Hawaii. She lives in Kansas City. In December, she's going to Hawaii. She doesn't know anybody there. She doesn't know how she's going to afford it. But by her even saying that, at the Posse conference, there were all these people from Hawaii. So all of a sudden, it's like, she's going, oh, I need to talk to whatever. I think she's already found a place to stay. But, that's like her big trip. She went to London, I think, last year, too. And then thrilling adventure. Like there was some kind of a thing in London that was like some really tall building that you have to to, go up these spiral stairs. And she said it just scared her, it just really scared her. And it was like, that was going to be her thrilling adventure. And when she got to the top, she was just elated that she had done it. And then her treat was every month it's either a treat, a trip, or a thrill. Like, something like a treat was, I think she said, she sent herself flowers, even though she could have bought them in the store. She sent them to herself. So she, here was a dozen roses that came to her door one day, and like, love you, love me. It was on the inscription. To you, I love you. And I just think, we got to create that joy. We got to figure it out. And the more you do it, the more you expand out to, well, what else could I do? So I'm going to do this. My birthday's in December. I'm going to do the same thing next year.
Exciting. Well, you could start now and practice.
I think you're right. And it's happening right now. This is a joy.
You are a joy. And, I love that concept. I wrote it down. A trip, a treat, or a
thrilling adventure.
That's great. I absolutely think that's wonderful. And I want to say hi to Karen in Boston.
Great name.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And a wonderful woman too. And, I am one of the things that you mentioned when you were talking about taking that moment for yourself. Pride isn't a bad thing. When we look at spirit as us, the gifts aren't ours. The gifts are ours to use. Spirit through us is doing amazing things.
Right.
So to not say thank you, to not take the moment and appreciate the gifts that we've received from spirit, that's to me, that's arrogance, not the other way around. When we rush through and think, well, yeah, whatever, like it's no big deal. It's a big deal. These are gifts we have that we've been given. And I want to apologize. I don't know why, but my colors just keep changing. As you can see, the room isn't changing, but the colors are going from pink to all kinds of shades.
It's all of your aura.
I guess it is. There we go. And the other thing also is receiving compliments.
Oh, yeah.
Because just like we have a hard time sometimes appreciating the work that we do, and when we've accomplished something, and for me, I have really been feeling a lot of feelings of accomplishment lately. I completed my ministerial class.
And yes, who's going to become a minister?
I am sitting for the final licensing on October 3rd, so I'm very excited. And actually, two others of our hosts on New Thought Media Network, Laura Topper and Michael Mangus, are also sitting that day. So we are 3 of the 12 that are sitting that morning. So
and tell me about your process of this. How long have you been going towards this goal?
For me, it's been 4 years. So it's exciting. I finished my practicums up, and there was that feeling of, and my exams, and it's a big deal in the midst of COVID and everything else that's gone on. So there's moments that I've just like, wow, that is a big deal.
So what are you going to do for yourself when you pass? What have you already thought about?
I haven't even gotten to that point. I am excited for the next leg of the journey. I am very proud. There's a lot of emotions, and I'm really being present as much as I can be with that. But when someone gives you a compliment, that's, it's like, yeah, almost like, yeah. Like, yeah, anybody could. And anybody could, but not everybody could, and even more than that, not everybody would.
Yeah, well, I acknowledge you because I've thought about going down that path, and it was like, couldn't do it. It just looked like such a long, hard road.
I've known people that have done it in about 2.5 years, and it's a lot of work to do it in that. It's a lot in addition to regular life. And, it was a calling. I never planned it. In a million years, I would have never thought, never. And I was so adamant, okay, I will go to ministerial school, but I am not running a center. And here
you are running a center.
Here I am, spiritual director of CSL Greater Boston for the past year. So it's, you say what, I'll do this, and spirit laughs, and I get a kick out of that too. So,
well, and me too. I'm amazed at what I do for a living. This was not on my path,
And it's just amazing. But it's flying by and you haven't sung for us yet. So
Oh.
that's one of the high points. So please, from your new CD that's literally hot off the presses.
Let's see, what do I want to do? You know what? I am going to sing this. This is a song I wrote. I don't even really remember all the words here, so I got to look at my little notes. But this is a song I wrote with Gary Lynn Floyd, and that's one of the true gifts of our lockdown of COVID, because we started getting together on Zoom once a week and just writing songs. And I never even had any idea that it was going to turn into a CD, because like a lot of people aren't even making CDs anymore, but I made some CDs there. It'll be streaming on all the different platforms. But we had so much fun writing together. So I'm going to play you this song. This is kind of like my big anthem song. So I don't really know why I'm starting with this, but I just felt like it. We would do so many great discussions about who we are, and I just feel like, yeah, with what we're talking about right now, it's allowing yourself to just say, you know what, I'm here, and I'm going to let myself shine. I mean, the fact that you're going to become this, well, you already are a minister, but that you're like, here I am, world, I'm a minister now. So here it goes. And somebody write in the chat if you can't hear enough, whatever, but hopefully this is going to work. It goes like this. I trust that I got this. I know that I know I've got all that I need, so it's time to let it go. I'm through with complaining and living life small. Every emotion, I want to feel them all. I've spent too much time censoring who I am. I am open, I am willing, I am feeling free and clear. Finally, I'm seeing I am worthy to be here. I am here. I am here to be here. I am present. I let it all be. I have uncovered the truth about me. The veil has been lifted that always kept me apart. No longer hiding, I'm ready to start. I step into my power and trust my heart. I am open, I am willing, I am feeling free and clear. Finally, I'm seeing I am worthy to be here. I am here. I am here to be here. No place I would rather be. It's time I let the whole world see. This brilliant light that shines through me is who I am, who I really am. And I am ready, I am moving, I let go of all my fear. Finally, I know I am enough. I am open, I am willing, I am feeling free and clear. Finally, I'm seeing I am worthy to be here. I am here. I am here to be here. Right now, I'm here. I am here to be here. I am open. right here, right now,
to be here.
to be here,
I am here
to be here.
to be here.
Oh, you're muted.
I'm muted. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. And Karen said, your songs always put to words what I'm feeling. This song is another example. Thank you. Thank you for being here and doing what you do.
Well,
Yes,
thank you, Karen.
thank you. You
Thank you,
are
thank you.
definitely a gift.
Well,
So,
I loved when Gary and I wrote that because it was like, we were both saying, I want to, like some of the words in that, I want to feel every emotion. I wanted, the veil has been lifted that kept me apart. I'm just not going to hide anymore. I'm not going to play it small anymore. I'm ready to just, and for some, it's interesting because, a song like this, I would imagine that some people would say, oh, come on, Karen, you've been out there for years and you just are really, you do all these shows and you do all this stuff. But that when there's a part of you that feels like you're just kind of holding back a little bit, like, is it going to be okay? Are people going to like me? Or all that chatter that's what that song is about. Because I'm saying, I am open, I am willing, I am feeling free and clear. Finally, I'm seeing I'm worthy. I'm worthy to be here and
yes,
to be doing what I'm doing. And that's a lot of times, I think, what keeps us from doing our joy and doing what it is that we want to do. Because we're worried about what people are going to say, what are they going to think. When we project onto them, even if they're thinking it's great, you just kind of have this projection of like, oh, are they going to like me? I just don't want to have that anymore. I want to just do what it is that I do. You like me or you don't like me. That's why there's 31 flavors. Baskin Robbins. I mean, there's
yep,
so many flavors of music and books and everything. It's like, this is what I do, and I'm going to put it out in the world, and whoever it resonates with, it will.
absolutely. And many people don't know how to, they don't know how to let joy in. They don't feel they're worthy of it.
Yeah.
And that the word worthy really, there's it is a lot of power in that. We were born that way. We're not worthy because we've done something that made us worthy. We were born as divine sparks. We are individualized expressions of God.
Yeah.
When we think about that, what do you think we have to do to be worthy of good? We already are that good.
Well,
It's
isn't
just
that what, I
allowing
mean,
it.
that's what, Science of Mind, what our philosophy is like, it's already here, and I just think that what you're talking about is exactly what I would say that's the main philosophy of Science
Yes.
of Mind. Is just like, there's nothing you have to do. You're already there, but it's like all the stuff that we all go through to prove to ourselves, just that intrinsic, right there, you're already worthy. There's nothing you need to do. And all the classes and the workshops and the books and the songs, all the kind of stuff, that's all cherries on top of the cake.
Yes.
The cake is you. The cake is worthy. All the other stuff you're doing is just enhancing that. It's adding new little ingredients to the cake. But people think, no, if I just take another class, then I'll be okay. If I read another book, let that stuff just be like you're already there and you're just adding to it, adding a few more little pieces of sugar.
You are already it. Like there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere, and when we realize that sometimes it's not till everybody has a different experience of it, but a lot of times that's the experience of life. And speaking of experience of life,
Oh,
tell
you
us
got that. Isn't that
that,
great?
that amazing picture. Tell us about this.
So I just went to Unity Village in Kansas City for a week for the Empower, it's called the POSI conference for positive message musicians, but it's for everybody, for fans and anybody who likes this kind of music. So it was a week, it was from like Wednesday to Sunday of just, song circles and classes and different workshops and performances, and it was just really fun. And so I was there with Gary Lynn Floyd, and we just had a blast together. And every night we did this thing. We were busy all during the day, but every night to kind of decompress, we would walk around. There's, you can make a loop around Unity Village, and it's, it's hot and humid there. So like at 10 o'clock at night, it's still like 80 degrees or something. It was really warm, but there was just this wonderful breeze happening every night, and it almost felt like I was in Hawaii at times. But Unity Village, this was so fun. They've never had this before. They had all these bicycles that were just all around the campus, and I just kept going, where are these bikes? What is this about? And I asked at the front desk, are you allowed to ride these bikes? Because I went down one night and saw one. I went, I really want to ride it, and I didn't know what the story was. Turns out they used to rent these bikes at Unity Village. And I hadn't ever seen this before, but the company went out of business, and they said to Unity Village, it's going to cost us so much to have all those bikes shipped back to us. Just keep them. And so there are all these bikes all over the campus. And so Gary and I would go out every night, like at 10 o'clock, and do like 3 loops around Unity Village. And so that picture
fun.
you just showed is, I don't know how he did that, where he could do a selfie and be riding at the same time.
Yep. He says, I want to play. I want to play.
But don't look at both of us. Do we just look so happy?
That's what joy is all about.
That's what joy
And
is
it's
all about.
in the moment. It's not something that you planned. It is right here. And one of the things you were talking about being in the moment, there's a quote this morning, and I have to share it because I loved it. It was actually from this morning, Science of Mind magazine, and it just hit me. It's Stefan Seeley, and he wrote, I finally understood that peace is found only in the stillness of each moment that I far too often overlook.
Oh, that's so great.
Because he was talking about how he was going and looking everywhere, he did classes, he did workshops. It's right here. But we so often don't pause, even for the moment of gratitude, even for the moment of appreciation, of joy.
Well, thank you, Gina, because with that quote and with all that we're talking about, one of the things on my to-do list today is, I guess I'm going to give a little plug to my class here, but I'm about to do a 6-week women's class online called Fun in the Deep End. And on my list, oh, look at you with your advertising. You're so
Absolutely.
good. But what's hysterical is that today I was like, okay, I have to spend some time and think about what's my first class going to be about. And you just did it for me. It's all about exactly what that quote was, of just in the stillness, that's where you can find the fun and the joy and the whatever. But it's like if I'm building a 6-week class, and it's all going to be based on my songs. So it's each class is going to be a song of mine that we're going to just take the words to that song and really, get into what it is. And I'm probably going to start off with in the stillness, that it's all about that you have to first have that as the foundation, that you just start your morning saying, okay, what do I need today? And to be in that place of looking within first before you even go out in the world. And that's where it all starts from. So thank you. You gave me my first class.
Glad I could help. By all means, I start every day. My alarm clock is your surrender song.
Oh, really?
So that's what I wake up to. That's the song on my phone that comes on every morning.
Well,
I
actually, maybe
surrender,
that's a
I
good.
let go.
Maybe actually the first class will be those 2 songs, In the Stillness and I Will Surrender. That feels like it's a. Yeah, and actually, that's even part of my first class. Is like, what are your practices every morning? What do you do? And I think just having people share back and forth about what they do. I think that using a song, or what I do, my practice is I have a little straw basket, and I go outside with my coffee, and I have my 10 minutes of that Calm app. They have a 10-minute meditation.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to that. I write in my journal. I read the Daily Word from Unity, and then Science Mind magazine. I just didn't even see that today. I didn't get to that because I was rushing out the door. So there you go. So that's what happens. So that's what practice is. It's like, because I didn't have time this morning to do that and see that wonderful quote, it's like, allow yourself to say, okay, it didn't happen this morning. Just do it this afternoon. And I think that's what spiritual practice is. It's like the concept of, it's like if here's your practice and you're doing it every day and you go off a bit, like you miss that day, and this is what practice to me is, because a lot of times what we do is we go off, and then you go off a little bit more, and off a little bit more, and then you go, oh, see, I can't do this, and then you totally go off. Whether this is a diet or an exercise program or a spiritual practice, but if you go off a little bit, but you gently bring yourself back, that's the key. Is you gently bring and go, okay, I was too busy this morning, didn't do it. Give myself 10 minutes today. I could find 10 minutes in this day. And maybe if I would have done that, I would have seen that quote myself and went, oh, there's my class, but it had to come through you, so thank you very much.
Well, we also get reminders, don't we?
Yeah.
Because someone will say something and I feel like I missed out. Oh, I didn't read that one today.
Yeah.
And I feel like I missed out on it. I'm like, oh, that's right. Or I'll get to 11, 12 o'clock and I'm wondering, why am I frazzled? And it's because I didn't start the day right.
Right.
I didn't, when we start our morning with spiritual practices, we are putting the rudder in the direction we want to go in.
Oh, I like that. That's a really good way of saying it. Yeah.
We are pointing the ship in the direction of and giving the wheel to spirit. We're starting that.
Oh, there's
way.
a song. I'm going to give the wheel to spirit. Put my rudder in the right. I mean, that's great. Oh, I got to write that down.
Fair enough.
And Poe, write that down for me. She writes down everything for me. So, yeah, that's great. That's great. That's a great idea.
And
I'm going to give you another little thing, another little path that we could go down, which is Spirit also gives you those little, what do I want to call it? Little shoulder taps, little spirit nudges, also in what triggers us. So you're saying, here's two different ways to look at it, that you'll get a message from Spirit you'll see that quote, or in this case, it came through you, that you saying this thing to me, it went, oh, okay, now I know what I'm going to do. But I also think that it happens by when we get triggered by things, that Spirit's going, oh, here's something for you to look at. And so, because we talked about this earlier, that we might talk about this little adventure I recently had, that my friends Gary, I mentioned Gary Lynn Floyd before, so Gary and his partner Danny these guys represent total fun to me. They just are always having fun. They have these two dogs that are adorable, and they're forever posting pictures of the dogs playing, of the two of them going camping with the dogs, and they always have these pictures on Facebook of them looking like they're just having a blast in life. Everything is a celebration. And I would notice that, these are my friends. Of course, I want them to have fun and be happy. But I would look at these pictures, and this is the downside of Facebook, isn't it, for all of us, that you get triggered and you go, why are they having so much fun? I'm not having fun. I'm not having fun like that. Maybe I should get a dog. I mean, what's my problem? I'm just not having fun. And I just really noticed that every time I'd see these pictures, it would be like this little wake-up call to me. Not in a bad way, just a wake-up call. And so finally, I told them this. I said, okay, you guys, every time I see these pictures, I'm like obsessing about, I want to have fun. And they went, well, great, why don't you come camping with us? And I'm like, camping? I've never been camping in my life. And I'm a nature fanatic. I love nature. This is my go-to place for happiness and fun. Why I've never been camping, I have no idea. No one ever invited me. And I said this to a girlfriend of mine, she's Jewish, and she said, oh, honey, you're Jewish. Jews don't go camping. We just don't camp. And so I lived in LA growing up. It's like we just never camped. I had no concept of camping. So this is the risk. This is when you want to have joy, sometimes it's a risk. And I wrote about this in a newsletter last month or whatever. But they invited me on this camping trip with all of their friends. And I drove 5 or 6 hours to this campsite way up in Northern California. And, even as I was driving past the last town that you had to go through to get to the campsite, I'm just I'm checking out all the, Holiday Inn, Motel 6. I'm checking out the hotels that I could potentially come back to if it didn't work. But, I felt vulnerable and a little scared, but these guys treated me like the diva queen of all time. They set up a tent, this big tent for me with a queen size air mattress. My wine was delivered at night. My coffee was delivered in the morning. I mean, and each night, each person had a night to do dinner. one guy actually brought, I mean, I guess this is really not camping. I have to be honest. I mean, this sounds very glampy, but he brought this pizza oven. So each of us, each night, I mean, so each of us had our own, like this pizza that he was doing the dough and asking you what you wanted to have on it, and then it would go in the pizza oven and you have your own little pizza. It was just too cute. But that was totally, it was a risk, but that was totally joyful. I mean, I came home so happy and so elated to do new adventures that I just thought, well, that's what joy also can be. It can be a risk. Like, I didn't know. I could have hated it. And Gary admitted to me later, he was like, I was a little nervous that maybe this was going to be, you wouldn't like it. But I mean, it was just a blast. And the people were fun, and we'd sit around the campfire for hours just talking and hanging out. And, so now it's inspired me to look at, well, okay, what's another adventure I could do?
Absolutely. It's exciting.
It's
And
exciting.
I have to tell you, I loved reading about it and seeing your pictures. It didn't inspire me to go camping necessarily. No offense. I'm a city girl through and through, but I absolutely loved seeing it. When someone else is in joy, we can enjoy as well.
It
We don't have to
sparks us.
be
It
there
sparks
to
us in
know
our
it.
own way to see what else we could do. Oh, wow.
Greetings from Nigeria.
Wow. Look
Wonderful
at
to
that.
have you here with us in this global network that we're on.
Isn't that
Thank
amazing?
you so much for being here with us. And I wanted to, before you sing your next song, I want to go back to your class for a minute. It is a 6-week virtual class, so anyone can be on it. By all means, anyone can sign up, and they can go to KarenDrucker.com or just email Sue at KarenDrucker.com to do that.
Yeah, we have
And
just a few more spaces left, actually. It starts October 11th. But yeah,
wow.
I try and keep it small so that it's really intimate.
So it's exciting, and you have tremendous feedback for your workshops. I have spoken to people that have been on it. You create a very safe and wonderful space, and you go deep, even in your conversations, the different things that you do, because I've been on your sing-alongs and things like that, and you go deep and you're very real, because if there's one thing we agree on, there's no spiritual bypassing. You have to be authentic. Really being where you are and feeling what you're feeling. But there's joy, and there's laughter, and there's singing, and there's dancing, and you have a gift about you to go deep without it feeling, it doesn't feel depleting.
Yeah.
It's joyful.
Thank you. That's a great compliment. That's what I try to do. And that's the thing that I have to admit has just blown me away about this medium. When I started this a couple of years ago and didn't know anything, and I still want to have some lessons from you because you're so good at this with the pictures, and I still don't know how to do that stuff. But I just didn't know what it could be like. And I've been really, really amazed that people really connect in this medium. And you can really, the women that are signing up again that have been in some of my other classes, they just said, this is my support group. This is my tribe. There's actually one gal even in Boston who is always in these classes. And she just said, especially in the wintertime, she said it gets dark and cold. And she said, I just look forward to these times, when I can be with these women all around the country and that we're all sharing where we're at. And I think especially in these wacky times, we just need as much connection and support as we can get. And so whether it's virtual or live or talking on the phone, whatever, we just need to be connected. So I'm very happy to offer this class, and it fills me up.
And before we go, it's flying by, so I'm going to have you sing another one of your wonderful songs from your new CD, My Heart Is With You.
Okay, I will. So this one I'm going to do. This came from one of the people who assists me in all of my retreats, and she's been my assistant for years and years, Sue Faria. In one of our exercises, we all had to write a haiku. And so this song started off as this little haiku that Sue wrote, and I just went, well, this is like way cool, and I changed a few things with it, but Sue's got the writing credit on this. She helped me write this whole song. So this is I don't walk alone, especially in these times. You can know this. I'm never alone. Never alone. I am never, ever alone. So you can dance in your seats if you want on this one, or get up and move a little bit. Feel that drum beat. So I'm going to have you sing along with me in just a moment. I'll teach it to you. It goes like this. I don't walk alone. Spirit is with me always. Grace fills me now. I don't walk alone. I don't walk alone. Spirit is with me always. Grace fills me now. I don't walk alone. Got it? Sing with me now. I don't walk alone. Spirit is with me always. Grace fills me now. I don't walk alone. I don't walk alone. Spirit is with me always. Grace fills me now. I don't walk alone. I felt so lost, couldn't find my way, searching for the answers, trying to make it through the day. I called out for help and felt something shift inside, a presence, a power that cannot be denied. I don't walk alone. Spirit is with me always. Grace fills me now. I don't walk alone now. I don't walk alone. Spirit is with me always. Grace fills me now. I don't walk alone. No matter what I call it, no matter what I believe, I know that when I'm hurting, if I ask, I will receive. The love I've been needing, the peace within my soul, I can surrender and let go. I don't walk alone. Walk. Spirit is with me always. Grace fills me now. Grace. I don't walk alone. I don't walk alone. I don't walk alone. Walk. Spirit is with me always. Grace fills me now. Grace. I don't walk alone. I don't walk alone. I'm never alone. Never alone. I am never, ever alone. That's true for all of us. We're never alone. We're never alone. We are never, ever alone. Sing that with me now. Never alone. Never alone. I am never, ever alone. You can say, Spirit is with me. Never alone. Spirit is with me. Never. Spirit is with me. Never, ever alone. Spirit is with me. Never alone. Spirit is with me. Never alone. Never, ever alone. Oh yeah. Never alone. I am never, ever alone. Never, ever, 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 ever alone. I'm never, ever, ever alone. I'm never, ever, ever alone.
So true. So true. And on that note, I just wanted to let our friend know that absolutely we are knowing power and lights for you, that you have everything that you need fully restored. So you are never alone. We are here, and I will treat for you, and know that absolutely, and put that prayer request out to our prayer team for those of you that don't know, we have a prayer team here on New Thought Media Network, and we are here. We are here praying 3 times a day, 8:15 a.m. and p.m. Mountain Time, and now we're there 8:15 a.m. UK time as well.
Wow.
So just to make sure that people know you always have a place here, it's prayer at ntmedia.org. Again, it's prayer at ntmedia.org, and it goes right to our prayer team, and we are always here for you. So I will absolutely be knowing that and put that out to our prayer family. And Anne says she loves it. Absolutely gratitude. Thank you. Beautiful. I really, appreciate all that you do and all that you bring in the world, and your honesty, your sincerity. And you give it away. Like, you are such a gift. There are times that you absolutely offer that. You're offering, again, your monthly, it's a virtual chanting event, and it is via Zoom. And all they have to do is go to your website at, KarenDrucker.com, your calendar.
Or it's even on the front page as well. So it's real easy. Just go to my website. It's just right there on the front page. Do you love it? It's called I don't even know what it is. Miraculous Miracle
Magical Miraculous Mantra Monday.
And next year it'll go back to what it used to be, which was called Second Sunday Sacred Sing.
There you go.
But I didn't have any Sundays available for the next couple months, so now it's Miraculous Monday. But yeah, October 10th is really going to be the real release date of that album, and that whole hour will be all about, singing that, because this is mainly a chant album. I just sang you kind of 2 songs from it, but it's mainly the rest of the song. 10 other songs are really chanting, so very easy to sing along with. Yeah,
beautiful.
Thank you. Those graphics, I got to tell you, girlfriend, you just are so talented in so many ways. Those graphics are just beautiful.
Well, they made me think of you. Absolutely, they're chanting. If nothing else, they are chanting.
I love it.
So it's important everybody realizes those times are Pacific times.
Yeah.
So make sure you want to watch for that. That's the only thing about being worldwide, is that you just want to check what your time zone is. So we have, I can't believe how fast it all goes by.
But see, that's when you enjoy, Gina. That's when it's joy. It's so easy and so effortless.
I pray that everyone finds something that makes them light up from the inside. And I've been a life coach for over a decade, and I don't take it for granted. There are a lot of people that have professions but aren't happy. There are a lot of people that have wonderful families, but they're not happy.
Right.
So it's not about getting what you think you want. It's wanting what you have. So joy is only in the now. And if something's off and you're not feeling that, if you don't have moments that you look like this, then you want to change that. And if you don't know how, ask people who are. When you look on Facebook and people are doing exciting, fun things, ask them about them. Don't limit yourself by your past. We know that, we are not limited. There's no precedence from the past. Anything is possible. So it's really important that we don't limit it, that we know that we're worthy, and that we step into that worthiness. And, when you started, because it wasn't, we now have a lot of positive music out there. We now have a new thought, a lot of new thought music, which is wonderful. And I always give a plug because you're so giving of your time. There's so many that give so much. Even when you show up at centers, what you do is you get a fraction of what your average entertainer would. You get, and you just show up for the love of it. And you'll travel. Now you can be virtual, but you would travel to places and do retreats and do all of these things. And it was and this is your ministry. So I always want to mention to people, If they give away free downloads, wonderful. But they all have websites that give what their link is. Find out what their link is, whether it be to PayPal or whatever they have, and make sure we support these New Thought artists, because they're giving their life to help us have more joy. And I always put that plug in there because it's so important.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I mean,
so
you've
much.
given your life to this.
Yeah.
And I'm sure for a long time that wasn't easy. There had to be some,
yeah, especially during COVID. I mean, I lost all my jobs. So yeah, it's been an interesting challenge, but it comes back down to what brings you joy. And, when I really looked at it and thought, well, can I live on a lot less, but still keep doing this? And, I'm doing different things to make it work. But, and actually, yeah, even speaking about being live, I'm doing my first, this Alderbrook Resort Women's Retreat is in a couple weeks in October. That's another beautiful thing she made for me. Look at that. You just do the most beautiful graphics, I swear. But
and that was your last album that wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't. Yeah. No,
I Stand for Love. So if you haven't seen that yet, that I Stand for Love was the last one. It's only what, 6 or 8 months?
Yeah, but this other one has been cooking for a while, and it's just like I can't, I'm just very funny that way. I can't go on and write new songs until the ones that have been cooking are done and released. So now I can start anew and start writing some new stuff. And I've gotten some great ideas from just us being here together. So it's all just part of the process. I mean, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm doing it. And so are you, little Miss Minister.
We're so grateful that you are. You are a light and you shine. And I'm so grateful for that. People can go to your website. There's so much information on there. It's KarenDrucker.com. And she has a newsletter that is always fabulous. So please sign up for her newsletter, and you get all kinds of, you'll know what's coming up, what new events. And I encourage you to really find joy right there, because you always have downloads. You have all kinds of things.
Yeah, I always do a free song every month. But Gina, so your panel is on October. How can we support you in this? Can we send prayers on October 3rd?
Again, there's 12 of us through the Holmes Institute that are being licensed, are going for that on the 3rd. So it's very exciting. And again, it's 3 of us from this network, which is also exciting. All 3 of us host shows, Laura Topper and Michael Mangus and myself, and we're all part of the prayer team as well.
That's great. So we are all knowing for you that day.
Thank you.
I'm receiving ease and grace, and just being in your center, so that whatever answers you have to come up with, whatever, it comes from that place deep inside of spirit, that you just relax, let go, release and surrender, and just allow yourself to just step into that, through that portal of saying, yes, now I am actually Reverend Gina.
And I thank you for your kind words as well. Thank you for being here. And it always goes so fast, and I am so grateful for the joy that you bring to so many. And I encourage people to, again, go to your website and go to these upcoming events, and just know that the whole network is here of positive things. You've been on the Peace Circle with me several times, and there's a lot of things out there. So you can go to our website and know that we are here because of what you give to the world. So what you give to us, what you share with us, is how we are able to have this network. Wow. It is all by donation. So I love it. Here it is, ntmedia.org to donate, but also all of the past shows of what we've done are all there. So you can go there, and we're also on Facebook, or we're on YouTube, and you can go to ntmedia.org or New Thought Media, and you can type in Karen Drucker, and you can see everything she's done here.
And so David Alt too. That was a great interview you did with David Alt.
He's amazing. He is. We are blessed in our teaching. We are blessed by so many. So thank you all for tuning in today. And thank you for being part of the change.
Yes.
As we shift from what we see on the outside to what we know right here and now on the inside. So continue to be the blessing to the world that you are, Karen, and to
too.
each one watching. Thank you for being here and continue to be that. We are the lights that make the difference. We are the change we wish to see. So have a wonderful, enjoy the rest of this week, and may your life be the joy that you've always dreamed of. The rest of your life be the best of your life. Blessings and love.
Blessings to all of you. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.